As the sun slowly rose over the city, I was already awake, stretching and listening to the cheerful songs of birds outside the window. Today was another adventure in caring for the planet. First, a reusable water bottle was filled with fresh water before stepping into the little garden. The soil was carefully checked to make sure the vegetables and herbs had enough moisture. A little care goes a long way, I whispered, watering the plants with rainwater collected in a barrel. Before sitting down to breakfast, I went to the bathroom. While brushing my teeth, I was careful not to leave the tap running unnecessarily. Then I went to the kitchen. I prepared a healthy breakfast. I collected eggs and made an omelet. Parsleys and cucumbers were from my own garden. I like gardening. I didn't forget to compost eggshells. After breakfast, I gave the breadcrumbs to the hens. Your trash can be a treasure for others. Then I got dressed and took my bike to school. As I pedaled through the streets, I noticed that I wasn't the only one choosing an eco-friendly way to travel. Several of my friends were riding their bikes too, while others opted for public transport instead of individual cars. The city felt calmer without the constant blare of car horns, and the air smelled fresher without the heavy pollution from excessive traffic. The buses and trams moved smoothly, their drivers patiently stopping in front of traffic lights and respecting pedestrians. It was a small yet powerful change, each of us making thoughtful choices that added up to a cleaner, quieter, and more breathable environment for everyone. My friends and I gathered in the activity room, eager to start our new project. On the table lay recycled materials, paper, cardboard, old jars, ready to be transformed into something useful. Today, we had planned to create decorative pots from reused containers and plant flowers that would attract bees and butterflies. With every flower we plant, we give nature a helping hand. One of my classmates said, as she carefully filled a pot made from a milk carton. As we worked, we talked about other initiatives, organizing a beach cleanup, creating an information board about selective waste collection, and even launching a campaign to promote water conservation at school. In the activity room, we brainstormed ways to give new life to discarded materials. We decided to build a small vertical garden using old wooden crates, repurposed tin cans, and leftover fabric for plant holders. As we worked, we discussed setting up an eco-corner at school, a place where students could donate and exchange items instead of throwing them away. We also thought about creating posters on reducing plastic use, hoping to encourage more sustainable habits. Each small effort felt like a meaningful step toward protecting nature. Admiring our vibrant plants, we knew this was just the start of something bigger. Every Wednesday after school, I walked home, but I never rushed. I wore gloves and carried a small bag. Along the way, I picked up litter, plastic bottles, paper, old bags that others had thrown on the ground. One day, my classmates saw me and laughed. "Why are you cleaning up other people's trash?" I replied. "If we all wait for someone else to do it, it will never get done." The next week, Mark joined him. Then Jana did too. So the whole street was cleaner, and the school praised me as eco-heroes. I just smiled. I knew that every small action makes a big difference. Back home, I helped my parents sort waste into paper, plastic, glass, and organic bins. My little brother asked why we do it, and I explained, because our planet deserves respect, and we are the ones who can show it. As I went to bed, I felt proud. Not because I did something big, but because I did something meaningful. Every little step we take, switching off lights, planting flowers, reusing old things, or inspiring others, adds up. One student, one school, one community at a time. We're building a better tomorrow. Before going to bed, I carefully turn off my lights to save energy. Close the window to keep the heat in the room. And instead of throwing away the paper left over from the day's homework, I place it in a special box for recycling. I check my plants on the windowsill, watering them gently if the soil is dry, and make sure there are no dripping taps, thus protecting water. With nature in mind, I lie down in bed and promise myself to continue taking care of the environment, convinced that every small gesture contributes to a greener future. At school, I learned to adopt numerous sustainable habits and convinced my father to buy energy-efficient LED light bulbs in the house, to give up using air conditioning, and to use fabrics made of natural, sustainable fibers. I am convinced that small daily choices build an environmentally friendly lifestyle. I fell asleep with the thought that the next day, I would start creating small decorations from recycled materials, thus transforming old objects into something new and artistic. In the end, every small action isn't just a step towards environmental preservation. It is a pledge to future generations. I firmly believe that our individual efforts, combined with a shared collective responsibility, have the power to create waves of positive change. My journey toward green living is ongoing, filled with both challenges and inspiring victories, and I remain ever committed to fostering a healthier, more sustainable world. The end.